This week, we're taking a closer look at some of the new Horus Heresy models. Star Wars Legion is getting a brand new starter set that I'm very excited for. Plus, I go on a toy hunt. This and more in this week's Hobby News. I'm Angela, you're watching Hobby Night. Now let's get into it. Let's start by talking about my lovely beaky lads, because this week we got a closer look at the full tactical squad coming in the new Horus Heresy set, and they look fantastic. I continue to love all of the beaky helmets. That is very, very obvious, but I actually really like the shoulder pads on these particular models. All those little bumps on them are fantastic. I cannot wait to both try contrast paint over top of them, because I think the contrast paint might do some interesting things over those perfectly round spheres, as well as maybe doing some dry brushing with them. I don't know. There's a lot of opportunity there. I'm still debating what Legion I actually want to paint up my Horus Heresy army as, but the Tactical Marines are looking fantastic. They are going to have some posability. They're not going to be monopose, which is nice to hear, although it does kind of just look like their arm position really changes. I don't know really what else outside of that is going to be adjustable without some more like severe kit bashing, but regardless, it's still cool to see that they're not monopose, because I know that's always really kind of boring. Plus, they're going to have a few fancy options, like there is a fancy banner you can give them, there is a Nucio Vox, as well as an augury scanner, which I am very excited for these little fluff items in there. Plus, I'm sure they'll have rules and everything, which will be very, very cool. Overall, I'm very excited for this, but I do want to see what some of these other models are going to be in the kits. I want to know what the vehicle is going to end up looking like, or some of the vehicles. I also really want to see what the new plastic Terminators will be, if we end up getting those. It's really exciting to have Horus Heresy coming back with this new edition. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Next, we got a relatively lengthy article talking about all the Knights' new big guns, because they looked at what the Tau got and were like, hey, we want some of that action. So all of the Knights' guns seem like they're getting some pretty substantial upgrades. Let's go over a few of them, because they did spotlight 4 in particular, starting with the Plasma Decimator, which essentially is getting the upgrade to be Call's Wrath at all times, because its stats now have a better strength, a better AP, and better damage. Overall, it's just really nice to see this upgrade, because literally everybody I knew that played Knights always upgraded their Plasma Decimator to the Call's Wrath relic, and it just seems ridiculous that they just aren't like that generally. It's really nice to see this change. Additionally, we got to take a look at the Reaper Chainsword, which continues to prove that the melee weapons are going to have 2 specific profiles. One that is geared more towards killing your big monsters and what vehicles, and one that is geared more towards infantry. The strike seems to be the one that is going to go for the monsters and vehicles, whereas the sweep, which does lower damage but has more hit opportunities, seems to be geared towards the infantry, and I really like this change. It also seems to be replacing possibly the stomp ability, which is an interesting choice, because I don't really feel like, honestly, a lot of people use the stomp that much. I don't.
Oh, yes, they did.
Well, they did, but it was like, it wasn't.
It's tap dancing.
I mean, it was tap dancing, but I feel like that was like the really only. I don't know. I just didn't. I think it was a silly thing to do, and I like seeing this more sweeping attack, because I really want to see more like action implied with the Knights and their movements. And I think this sort of strike, which gives me a very specific like image in my head, as well as the sweep, also gives me this really cool image. And I don't know, I visualize it better on the battlefield, and I just think that's really cool. But that's not the only weapons we need to talk about. We also need to talk about the Laser Destructor, which has had a change to its range, its type, its AP, and its damage. It's a really different gun now. Personally, I love seeing some of these damage changes that are happening, because in particular with this one, it went from being a D6 damage weapon on certain cases to being a flat 4, which I just like flat number damage a lot better. I think it's a little bit more friendly to the player because it's a little bit more reliable, but Let me know what you think. Do you prefer the more volatile, like rolling the die and seeing what you get, or do you like having the flat damage? The last weapon that we need to talk about that got a spotlight is the Las Impulsor, which has some big changes to, well, actually, it's not huge changes. It's some minor changes to the low intensity firing on it, which just got an increase to damage, whereas the high intensity got the blast keyword added to it and can do a little bit more damage and also has a bit of a better range, which is nice to see. Overall, the knights are looking pretty spicy. I already have at least 3 knights painted up for my Imperial Knight list, and honestly, this new codex that's coming out alongside the Chaos one really makes me want to finish that list, get it up to a full 2,000 points, and then also get a Chaos Knight list up to 2,000 points because I feel like that's not going to take that long, and painting a knight on camera I think would be something fun to do. So if you're interested in that, let me know. It's that time of the video where I interrupt to tell you about my Patreon and to let you know that we just added a Discord server which all tiers get access to. So if you're wanting a way to chat with me, share with me your projects, or just tell me what board games you're playing, definitely make sure to check the link below and check out my Patreon. The last thing that I want to talk about on the news today before we go on our majestic toy hunt to a toy show is Star Wars Legion. Atomic Mass has a brand new starter set coming out in June that I am very excited for. I have been collecting a small amount of Star Wars Legion models for a little while, and they have a Shadow Collective starter set, which includes Maul, the Pike Syndicate, all of the Mandos that are associated with Maul, and a couple other named characters, all in this big set for about $70. And it's coming out, I think, on the 16th or 17th of June. I am definitely getting it. The way that I go about collecting my Black Series toys for Star Wars is I just pick the characters that I'm most fond of from the shows that I've watched or from the movies that I've watched. And I've kind of been treating Star Wars Legion the same way. I definitely want to learn to play the game, but I also just really love collecting the models and getting them painted up. And I've started to paint more of the Legion models. But this new set with the Shadow Syndicate has me super hyped because Maul is one of my all-time favorite characters. In fact, you'll see him in a little bit as we go on our toy hunt because I am definitely getting some Star Wars figures while we're there. But I just really find him fascinating. I love his arc through the Clone Wars and into Rebels. Like, everything with that character, I just adore. I also love how freaking bonkers he goes. It's just wonderful. So seeing this new set come out from Atomic Mass has me incredibly hyped. Like I said, I'm probably definitely going to be picking it up and probably going to be painting at least some of them on camera. In the meantime, let's go ahead and jump to the toy hunt and see how that goes. Hey guys, I am here today because we are on another toy hunt. I am going to the East Bay Toy and Collectibles show today here in Concord, and I am very excited because, well, I actually don't know what I'm specifically looking for, but I just want to actually go to a toy store. Toy show. This is my first official toy show. I cannot wait. Let's go ahead and head in and take a look at what they have. I love the face sculpt on this Maul. Like, this is just so intense. I really like it. Exclusive Star Wars. Oh, there's even a trading card promo card in there. How fancy.
Is it actually ramen?
I don't.
No, it's a mystery box.
No, it's a mystery box. Does it have?
It better have ramen.
I have no idea. No, it's Funkos, so it might be. It's probably pop figures. That is so amazing, though. Like, that is so cool. I wish it had ramen. right, so we have wrapped up at our toy fair, and I have bought many things, as you can clearly tell. We got a mix of a little bit of Star Wars, a little bit of All Elite Wrestling, and a little bit of Marvel Legends. So let me run through really quick what we actually ended up picking up, because there's quite a bit. We got the entire Marvel Legends series for the X-Men, which includes the most important X-Men, Magneto, which is the main reason we bought this particular set. We have been searching for this guy for a while. We briefly saw him during Christmas. I ended up not getting him, and then I haven't been able to find the jerk since. So we found him here, and we're like, hey, how much for the entire set? Because they were trying to get rid of the entire set. And I was like, fine, cool, how much for it? We negotiated a price, and we got this for a really good deal. I'm very happy to have this figure. Now, we also got that mall that I was pointing out in the B-roll footage with the really cool like electricity around here with the really intense face. I liked him. He was awesome, and I just wanted to get a hold of him. So we took him home. Now for probably the biggest purchases of the weekend. I got one of the Chase figures for Darby Allin, and I even got him for a little bit less than what the sticker says. I'm so excited for this because Darby is definitely up there on one of my like favorite wrestlers, even though I actually do have a lot of stuff from him now that I think about it. I don't actively go out and buy stuff for him, but I end up with a lot of his stuff. You do. And we saw this, it was so cool. We have the non-Chase version of this figure, and I think we've actually opened it. So this one I'm keeping in the case. We're not gonna be opening him, it's great. Now, on top of him, we also got a hard to find Rex figure. Now, obviously, I assume that they're going to reprint this to some variety because Rex is going to be very popular, going like forward just forever, I think. He's still very relevant, but we had not seen this one. We knew it was kind of hard to get our hands on. So we're like, screw it, we're gonna buy him as well. So we got
I've never
Rex.
seen him in real life.
I've never seen him in real life either. I've only seen him online, and I've seen him for like a lot more than this. So I feel like I got a pretty good deal. Additionally, we got another Chase figure, which is the Cody with the red pants for his like LJN style figure, which is pretty cool. I still have very mixed feelings about Cody right now, but I don't know, this was still really rad, so I just wanted to get it. And then we got one of the figures from the newest series, I think from the Unmatched. Is it the Unmatched or the Unrivaled? It's the Unrivaled. I was a filthy liar. And that is the Painmaker Jericho, because this is definitely one of the best Jerichos. The only other Jericho.
It's my favorite Jericho.
It is your favorite Jericho. My favorite Jericho is Best Friends Jericho with Kevin Owens.
It's a good one.
With the list, because it's fantastic. But Painmaker is a very, very close second, because look at that jacket. I want one like it. It'd be so cool. But that is what we got at the toy show. I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing what we purchased. I know it's ridiculous because like I'm moving in less than a week and I really shouldn't be buying more toys, but I had to. I wanted to, like, we got invited to this toy show a while ago. I wanted to go and check it out, and there was just some cool stuff there. So I ended up spending a little bit of money. Anyways, I have been Angela. I hope you enjoyed this week's news episode as well as this bonus content where we went to the toy fair. In the meantime, I wanted to give a huge thank you to my patrons for allowing content like this to continue to happen. Without your guys' support, we wouldn't be doing this. So thank you guys very, very much. Anyways, I will see you next time. I'm gonna go home and pack these toys to move.